Hi everyone, it's Heidi Lindeman with Self-Grounded Therapy. I'm glad that you're here and listening to this. If you're listening to this, you know a little something about anxiety. Anxiety can show up in our lives in so many different ways. It can show up in our lives by that racing thoughts that happen in our head that are telling us, you need to do this, you should be doing that. How about doing that? There's this and there's this and there's this, and like this never ending to-do list. Sometimes that's how anxiety feels. Sometimes anxiety also happens in our bodies, in our chest, tightness, pressure, maybe a racing heart, some sweaty palms, an upset stomach, being nauseous, just kind of feeling like you're on edge and like, oh my goodness, how am I going to do it all? I need to get some stuff done. There's too many pressures in the world. And then you might start spinning. Sometimes when our anxiety spins, we can spin with these worries, with these doubts, with these concerns about our future. What if I don't have enough money? What if I'm homeless? What if I can't figure out how to have this thing that I want? What is my family going to think? What is this? So many what ifs. And the anxiety lives in our bodies. And that can be a really exhausting experience to have when we are so pent up with all of this anxiety. But what I know is that feeling, that those worries, those thoughts and that spinning that sometimes keep you up at night, that wake you up early in the morning, that maybe sometimes even paralyze you, that there feels like there's so much to do that you don't even know where to start or how to start, or even how to start working towards what you're wanting to work towards. What I know about anxiety is that that's a part of you, and it's there for very good reason. That anxiety and that anxiousness and that trying to get stuff done is likely really trying to help you in your life. It's trying to help you accomplish something or get somewhere, or maybe it's trying to help you get to your goals, or maybe it's trying to keep you from feeling like you're not going to be able to succeed. Maybe it's trying to keep you out of despair or destruction or something, some kind of fear that you might be holding deeper inside yourself, or some fear that maybe was instilled in you from your parents or from our society. And here's the thing about anxiety in our society, at least in American society, in Western civilization, we are very focused on being productive and getting out in the world, which right now we're in this COVID space is a different thing. We aren't able to get out as much. Maybe you don't have a job, or maybe you do still have a job and you're still having to spend much time doing things. But we're also constantly being fed information through social media, through the news, like all this information, and it can build our anxieties. It can make those anxious parts of us ramp up even more, because now not only is it just my life that I'm worried about, I'm also concerned and worried about the world and the safety of my family and the safety of our society, and how are we going to all handle this. So it can become so overwhelming. But those anxious parts are still always doing something for us. There's a reason that they're there. And what I know is that when we can help to almost separate them, we do separate them. Like, I help you learn how you can separate, so you can almost like take your anxiety that's living here and constantly running, help contain it into something that you can see and that you can talk to and that you can have a relationship with. That you can learn how to have a different relationship with this anxiety, and then the overwhelming pressure of the anxiety can be lessened, because this part of you gets to do it with you. It's no longer alone, having to manage the entire world and all of what's going to happen all on its own. It has you. It has who you are at your core, your deep-seated knowing, this deep wisdom, this confidence, and this curiosity and compassion that you have deep within you. It's there. You may have some awareness of it, maybe you don't, but I fully believe that you have it in you, that it lives there, and that's who you truly are. When you tap into that, a creative, curious, compassionate space, that's who you are, and this anxiety is a part of you. It's an important part too. We don't want it to go away completely, but to help it unblend and come out and stand next to you, that's the power. Because then you get to know the anxiety and you can start to understand what's deeper within it. It's doing something to help you continue to stay alive and thrive, and it's doing something. And it will tell us when we are able to help separate it and to start to build a relationship. Your anxiety, that part of you, can tell you what it's doing for you and why it's working so hard and what it fears would happen if it stopped working so hard. And this is a time in which therapy can actually be really helpful, because when you can move out that anxiety a little bit and you can learn what's it helping you do and what's it really afraid is going to happen if it stops doing what it's doing to the extent that it's doing it, then we can learn what's underneath it. And there's likely some fear or some pain or something that it's working to try to keep you out of. Your anxiety likely is there showing up because it maybe is a little bit more comfortable or more familiar or a little easier at times to feel anxiety than to feel the deep fear and getting lost in some kind of fear where it feels overwhelming and you maybe go into just this space where you can't even act anymore. At least with anxiety, there's some kind of action. Or that's what the anxiety might be thinking or feeling or trying to help you do, is put something into action. So just imagine if you could understand what the anxiety is helping you do and what it's afraid of, and then you can have these two different parts of yourself that you can actually learn from, and you can help the one that's underneath the anxiety, you can help that one to let go of the fear or the burden or whatever it's carrying that it will tell us to. It really does. This happens. It might sound weird. It might sound like, what the heck is she talking about? But I tell you, it happens again and again and again. I've done it myself. I see it with clients, that you really can learn from these different parts of you and that they're doing something so vital for your well-being. And we can also help them learn how to come back to who they originally were. Like your anxiety, it grows. You know it. It starts spinning and it's spinning some more and some more and some more, and then it just kind of feels like you're constantly in it and you can't get out. And there's parts of you that are like, oh my gosh, can I just make this stop? Because it's so exhausting. And the truth is, you can. But probably not in the way you're thinking. You can help relieve it by helping it step out, the anxiety step out, and the fear that's underneath it step out, and whatever other parts are around it step out, because then you become centered. Then you become the one who has some control and some power and some way to relate to the anxiety, and the anxiety no longer has to be doing it alone. That's the power of internal family systems. That's the power of therapy. So if you're finding yourself riddled with anxiety and you are really struggling to notice what's happening inside of you, and you're just exhausted and you're stuck and you're really hoping that somebody can help you get out of that, let me know. I'm here. My office is in Broomfield, Colorado, and I help people with this. And I can help you too. So if that sounds at all familiar with you, if it resonates with you at all, let me know. You can make comments below. You can find my website, which is linked in the comments. If you're on my website watching this video, you can scroll to the bottom. You can schedule a consultation or a session. So you can reach out to me. And if there's anything that you can do for yourself right now, knowing that you are feeling some anxiety, that you have some anxiousness inside you, that you know these thoughts, you know this spinningness, you know this pressure, you know this constriction that sometimes happens in your body, I'm wondering if you can just acknowledge that that's there. Acknowledgement is the first step. And when you can acknowledge that it's there, it might be a little bit easier to recognize that your anxiety is telling you something important. And that if you're willing and need some support with that, that you can reach out to me, that you can have help to learn what exactly your anxiety is telling you and how you can move further in your life. Your anxiety is opening doors for you. It's just needing some help and some guidance to listen to the messages that are in it, to understand it better, to know it more, and then to have a shift in your life. It's possible. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you like this content, if it was resonated with you, leave comments below. I look forward to reaching out with you more and connecting more with you.